Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today episode we are gonna tackle the ROKR Justice Guard AK-47 Assault Rifle. Now this one's gonna be just like the Tommy gun that I did previously, and where it shoots the rubber bands and everything, and then I think it may have wooden bullets. I don't know yet, I haven't looked. But I don't think so, but I don't know, we'll see. But I believe all the mechanics and the way it shoots is going to be almost exactly the same. Only difference is just the way the gun looks and everything like that. And of course, somebody's bugging me, so, as always. So, and she likes to get on camera. So I'll just kind of take you through all the pieces. And each of these are different levels of thicknesses going through. You can definitely tell the ones that are a little thinner, the ones that are a little thicker and everything. And this one's definitely thicker. You're in the way. You're in the way. You're in the way. So, and then you get the stained ones already for the handles and everything like that. And she's taking over. So, and here's the instructions. It's one piece of instructions. It just, you turn it over, you unfold it to the next page and everything. So there's no multiple pages or separated or anything like that. It's just one big instructions and everything. So a lot of the steps are smaller, so it may take a little longer to review, what you need and everything. And then there's all your rubber bands, which is a ton. So I mean, just gives you plenty of weapons or ammunition for it. And then you got your screws and bolts, sanding block, which it also gives you a square one as well. Your little safety piece that goes on the end of the barrel. There's a smaller little wax piece as well. And then there's all your mechanical, your springs, your gears, levers and stuff like that. So it's definitely a lot of different pieces that are going to, and most of this is going to be on the inside of it and everything. So, but last time, I had stained all the pieces before I started. But I think this time I'm going to try something different. And I'm actually going to wait and actually build a little bit of it, and then I'm going to stain. Because a lot of these pieces are going to be on the inside that I don't really want to take a chance on staining and not even seeing it. And again, I was looking through the instructions, and it was a little harder to determine kind of what pieces I may need and to label them and everything like that. So, but as always, please like, share, subscribe, leave comments, hit the notification bell, and I will get back to you. So with that, we'll get started. Okay, so you want the back part. You see the front part, you see the little etchings, engravings and everything, and the number. So you want to flip it over and do the back to put these on. And something I noticed through all the pieces, it seemed like that they've decided to etch the piece number onto the actual piece itself if they can, unless the piece is too small and everything. So I think that was they're all the same, right? Yeah. It's probably something that they decided to save a little bit on space on the bigger boards and everything. And you just want to go down the line. You got 1, 2, 3, and 4. But me not staining the pieces first probably is a good thing for that reason, because depending on the color I used, I may not have been able to see the pieces, and it would have made it a lot harder to know which number was for each piece and everything. So kind of another reason why I decided to wait to stain it until after I get to a certain point, everything. And so for this first piece, they wanted you to use the wax that came with it and wax inside this groove here, and then also inside this groove here. So what I did was I actually had an older piece, and then I just put it in there to kind of whittle it down to like actually get it inside, and then just wax the upper part and lower part and everything. So, but there's definitely a lot of waxing on these first few pieces. So F3. Okay, so we turn this around. Yep. And so for this one, they wanted, no, I'm not waxing that. So this, oh no, you don't turn it around. Okay, so get the piece on top, and it looks like this goes down into here. Yep. Pretty easily. And then you get your F4. Just going to be like that, and they wanted you to wax inside this line right here all the way down. So I have a feeling that's going to be a one of the slide mechanisms for the trigger and everything. So okay, and again, I mean, there's really no point in me staining all these pieces on the inside because you're not going to see it or anything. So but we'll see. I mean, I'll try it this way and see what happens. Okay, so now I want you to put a couple springs in, and I just combined them. Ah, dang it. So there's two different colors. So you have your silver springs, silver springs. You have your silver ones, and you have your black ones. I just gotta push them out here. Like that, and then the black ones are actually in their own separate bag, which is nice, so you don't get them confused or anything. And these are all the same size. So anytime, and they put it on the instructions to say, you know, the spring type, and it says black or white, you know, so you know which one you're getting. The white ones or the silver ones, I believe there are some different sizes, so you just got to be careful. But again, they have the diagram on the instructions that you can put the spring on there to measure, to make sure you're using the right one. So we have both these springs, and let's see here. So the black one goes on this upper one here, and the way they want you to put it in is they don't want you to try to force it in. They want you to put it in from the top and slide it down, just so it stays in, and that way it doesn't bend the spring or anything like that. So it's sticking up like that. And then the other one is down here. And what do I do with that? And pretty much they want you to put it in the same way, is make sure you slide it, put it in from the top, and push it down, so it fits in there nice and tight, and it doesn't mess the spring, because I don't believe you could even try to get it to push in from the front. So you should have your black spring up at the top here, and then the silver one down here at the bottom. So it's even. Push that in, and this is the printed side because you can see the little etching right here. D5, and that'll go up through here. Just get that to go in, lock in place. And then this top piece was your D6. Once it goes on top here, they want you to wax around the upper and bottom part. Well, they just want you to wax the bottom part, but I think I just did both. I mean, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. And then just push it all the way down until, there we go. So, because I have it, and they also want you to wax this right here, because I think this is going to be sliding back and forth. So that's why they want you to wax this, your D6 right here. And then This will go into sit hole right here. Yeah, so you pull it back. Yeah. Probably should have waxed that too. Doesn't say to wax that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wax this hole right here. Doesn't say to, but again, it doesn't hurt to wax more pieces than what it says if you know things are gonna be rubbing against each other. And I didn't wax this other piece. So, and I'm using this wax that came with it instead of my beeswax that I normally do. Just give it a shot and try and see what happens. And if it doesn't work, then then I'll, just use some spray lubricant or something and see what happens. Okay. Because if that's going to go back and forth, then I have a feeling this same model or design is going to be on the opposite end and everything. So yeah, just so it slides a lot smoother. Okay. So I'll just push that forward for now. They want you to make this tool, which has like a little badge, freedom fighter badge and everything, but it looks like it's a tool to put some pins in. And I went ahead and put it together, and it was just 3 pieces that it shows you. And if you look, I'll show you. If you look at your instructions right up here at the top, it says tool assembly in advance. So there's your 3 pieces that you need to assemble it. So when you get down to the step in step 1 where it shows it, that's where it's saying, it says refer to tool assembly in the right part of the parts list. So that's what it's saying. When you see that, then if you put that together, then you're probably going to be using it later on to be putting some pins in. So I need these 2, because one has a hole all the way through and then one doesn't. So what they want you to do is, and I don't think it matters which side you put it on, but I didn't want to cover up the etching and everything, so I just put it on the back. So it looks like with the edges facing kind of down towards you. Just make sure you line it up. Just press it all the way down. So just press it all the way down, and then kind of split the wood a little bit. And so you're going to have it where it's one side's longer than the other. The pictures don't really make it match like that, so not for sure if that's how it's supposed to go, but that's what it says. So, like, there's no other hole here for it to slide through or anything, so that's what I used. And they want you to put it down into here, and then you kind of have to push the spring back a little bit. That's going to be your, So that might have been okay, because you don't want the pole, the pin to come out this way, so that might have been okay. But you can see you got a little bit of tension on the spring, so that might have been the correct way. I'm not gonna mess with that. This spring goes into here. See if it'll stay in place. So you want it to only fit into the cutout of this piece, not the one in the back. Because as you can see, I just fell off. This right here is a little bit smaller for that spring to fit into, but you just want it to fit into this one that's right here for right now. And I probably wouldn't try to mess with pulling it back, because it'll, it may pop out. Make sure I got the lower end. This thing's being a pain in the butt. Okay. So now we're going to grab our other F8. The stains, or the, doesn't really say the detail side, but the way it looks in the picture, there's only way it's going to go. And the same thing as the first one is you want to wax inside of here and also wax inside of here. And then you just want to put it on top of each of these holes. And then just be careful pushing it down. Just start them. And then just slowly push the piece down, and there should be nothing. Make sure all your pieces are in. And just okay. Oh, and you gotta make sure the pin goes into the hole as well. Oh, the pin slides right through, so you got to be careful of that too. What the heck? Okay, there we go. So just make sure it's all nice and tight. And now, we got our D11, and we're putting another spring on, the black one. And it's going to go right into the middle. Just like before, you want to put it on top and lose it. Put it on top. It's better probably to put it on a flat surface. Put it on a flat surface, but start from the top. Push it down, that way it'll hold it in. Just make sure it's flush. Yep, okay. Make sure it's flush, and then we have our D9 and D10. And then I want you to wax the both sides, the long edge and everything. So D9, D10 is like that. And then D2, this is facing like, so you pretty much want the opening of D11 to face the hole and everything, and then just make sure D10, D9 matches it on top. Okay. And they want you, like I said, want you to sand or to wax all around, because I think this is going to be going back and forth. So just wax both sides right here. Yeah. And then assembly, press this part downward slightly. So I'm not for sure. Oh, did I just break the spring? Spring looks a little off now. I don't know. Oh, it's caught on the, there we go. There we go. You may have to kind of just make sure that spring doesn't get caught up on the edges of the other pieces. Our poles, metal poles with the plastic ends on them that we're going to have to put in. So they want you to slide that down. Or this is, I think last time these actually went on, yeah, not too bad. Okay, so that's on there. Yeah, you want to make sure the angle of these pieces are going left to right, kind of low end to high end, that way. It's kind of what it looks like in the picture. Okay, so it's supposed to be, off a little bit, but it should be loose where it's, coming off the spring and everything. So, okay, so we got, okay, so now we got our D14. So now this is going to go into here and around the top part to secure it. So you, and then your next piece, D13, slides in with the, because there's like an angle on the end, so you want the high end to be facing you or facing your D14. And you're just pushing this in like so, and just making sure it's level. And it's kind of loose. I don't know if I like it that loose though. We got our D12, which is this piece, so it doesn't matter which way you go, but right here, yep. So right here, they want you to wax kind of this end right here. So I'm just gonna get this a little bit. Now, this will go top of here, like that, and then this goes into the 2 holes. Okay. At least it'll kind of hold this in place, looks like, somewhat. Okay. Now, we have our D23 and D30. And it kind of looks like they wanted you to wax like the whole fronts or sides of the pieces, but after kind of looking at it, they just want you to wax the ends right here on these both pieces, because that's what it's kind of pointing to, because they're going to go over this piece right here. So since it's going to be sliding, that's why they want you to wax the insides of here, because that's where it's going to be going to. So it kind of looked like they wanted you to wax the whole thing, but that's not what they want. So I just put these right here, D30. There we go. So that just slides on, and D23 goes. I guess so. So they go on pretty simple, not too bad, but yeah. See, it's so that's kind of what it looks like now. You know, trigger, not too bad. Looks like it's this might be part of the trigger part to help, you know, maybe the rubber bands continuously go or whatever. But there's that, and you got this. Okay, so we got our next pieces out, and not too much going on. I probably should have continued the last one just for a couple more steps, but didn't turn the page. So next part is getting all this kitty hair off. Okay, next part is putting on a little accessory right here. Just kind of slides in, and then this slides down. Here, see these two. 1, 2, 3. And then just do like you did before, just push them down, but make sure anything else that's supposed to go into a hole, like right here. And I think that's it. You know, goes through and okay. Doesn't go in too far, so actually that just is flush right there. Okay. And then you get your D34, turn it where the hook is to the right, and it looks like it goes down into here, and then it wants you to scoot it forward. I don't know how far down does that go. All the way where it goes all the way through, and then move it forward, and then it should go into the hole right there, and just push it down. Okay. And then, okay, so then what it wants you to do because remember we had the spring for the trigger, and you had your little other little spring right here for this one. So, and it looks like it's saying to pull the trigger and move the brake to the lower end of the slot, which it's going on its own. And when you release the trigger, it turns it to the original position. So I'm guessing what it's saying is if when you pull the trigger, your D9 should go all the way down to the bottom. And when you release the trigger, it should go all the way back up to the top. So if it doesn't do that, then that's where you may need to work on the spring on this, just to see if it's hitting the right spots and everything. Because I guess that's what it's saying. It says if it cannot, check whether the reset spring is assembled. So when you pull the trigger, your D9 should go down, and then when you release it, it should go back up. So I think it's what it's wanting you to do. Okay. All right, so we will put that aside for now. So your next part was putting your little bar into F5, and we used our little tool here, and I just put the bar on the bottom, pushed it all the way down, and you just want to make sure it's, you know, going to be even on both sides and everything. And then going to get our next little pieces here. So you're going to get your P4, which is your plastic, your brown plastic piece right here, and this is going to go down into here, and then you're going to get goes into this piece right here, and then you're going to push this, make sure it's flush. Well, actually, just push it till it won't go down anymore, and then get these other pieces here. So it looks like, okay, so I'm going to just use this. Okay, so from here, you're going to grab your F6, have it go on top here, push that down. Okay, and then your other B6, it'll go, oh, I'm sorry, get my F5 that I just did, put it right there, then get my other B6, put it on top, so, and then the hole goes into here for that one. Make sure it goes all the way down to lock it in, and then you get your other B12 that goes on top. Push it down. Okay. So, and then once you have all this together, then what it wanted you to do was wax this wheel here. Make sure you can spin it, just make sure it's not too tight. And then I wanted you to wax this upper wheel, the sides of it. And I went ahead and just waxed the bottom one just in case they wanted you to wax the bottom wheel and everything. So these don't turn, but it may be an action where these will move into something to cause some friction between that, but at least make sure this wheel moves freely. You know, it's not too tight or anything, and just make sure it's got a good coat of wax on it. And get your D19 and D20 that we will use at a later, I think in the next step. But you just push that in all the way for now, and just kind of set it aside until we need it for those next steps. So we got our next pieces out, and we're definitely going to be working on looks like the slide and maybe the chuck, I'm not for sure, so we'll see. But it's definitely the main parts that you want to make sure are working to fire the rubber bands and everything. So okay, so we got F1, and you want to make sure the arrow was pointing up, and you have P19, and this is the silver weight. Thing weighs a ton. And I'm guessing you just put it flush with, no. Maybe not flush, maybe put it like right in the middle. Oh, dang it. Gonna put it in the middle. And then you have your F18. Yeah, okay. Have it on, and then your F19 goes like so. So yeah, so you want to put that where it's even top and bottom. And then you're gonna get your D22. And they made a note to make sure that you pick the right piece, because D22 and D21 kind of look similar, but you just have to look at the hole here. D21, the hole is a little bigger than 22, or just make sure you pick the piece that says D22 on it. And then hang on, something don't. Okay, make sure you use the back part. Yep, so that's the back part of the piece. It's the only way really it's going to fit. Just work each side, make sure it goes down good. Then just push your weight down until it just connects with the D22. And then you're going to get your D19 and 20 that you put together, and looks like it'll go like this with the curved part facing out. And then you're going to grab your other little piece right here, and then the circle, bottom circle, will go into the hole right here, and have it just facing up like that. And then, yep, okay. Then you're gonna get your D21. It's tough when you're trying to do too many pieces and everything, so just get the one in, get the circle in, get that in. Why is that not fitting in now? Raise this up a little bit. There we go. There we go. Okay, got that in, got that in. Got the circle in. Okay. Okay, so that's how your piece should look right now. You got that kind of going in. So it's a good thing I did wax the circles on the top and the bottom, but I wish I would have kind of seen that, and I would have waxed the holes themselves to make it a little bit more slicker. Okay, now we're getting D17, and you want to make sure that it's flat on the bottom when you're pushing this in, and you want to make sure that the straighter edge is in the back and the little curved part is in the front. So pretty much the number is facing away from you. And then you're going to slide it down to where the smaller gap is, and then slide it in. The groove right here, you can see. Just slide it into the groove, like so. And then get D18. Same way, make sure the straight end is in the back. And then this will just slide all the way down. It's going to be a tighter fit. It's going to be a little tight. There we go. Okay. And you do have spare pieces of D18 just in case. Okay, so we should go down all the way till it's flush to where the holes, you can see all the way through. These are right next to each other. And then the last piece is D15. It goes right on the end with the curved piece facing you. Okay, so this is how this should look. You have this. Oh, I'm not gonna like that. That's gonna get caught. Yep, that's gonna get caught there too. So you gotta make sure the pin is almost flush. Okay, almost flush. Hopefully it stays in the middle where it doesn't contact the wood pieces or it's gonna catch. Just try to make it as flush as possible, but hopefully this stays in the middle. Doesn't catch anything. Your steel pin that's it right here. But that's the way it should look. You got your weight right here. It ain't gonna go nowhere. And everything. Okay, so now it's wanting to make sure that you wax a bunch of stuff. And pretty much from this point, it's wanting you to wax. I think it's talking about like this upper part up here, but I would just go ahead and just wax this whole side right here. And for this one, I'm actually gonna use my beeswax. But I would just wax this whole side here, mess with it and everything, so. Okay, and then put this back around. Let's see, you do that, and then it wants you to, I would go ahead and wax the edges on the top here and the edges back here as well. Okay, so but that was our main thing, was just making sure you pretty much wax the crap out of it. So, because I have a feeling this main part's going to be going back and, sliding back and forth and everything. So, but so this is it. So this completes this part of it and everything. Just make sure it's good and waxed. Got our F10. And we'll do the back side of it that doesn't have the number, because you want this little edge sticking out to the right. You get your A1 to put in here. It's even on both sides, so it won't really matter. Then you get your F11, and this will go like that. Slide it down. And then you want to grab one of your springs, your silver spring, 10 millimeter or white as it says in instructions. You want to grab one of those, and then you're going to slide it in the groove right here, and same like we did these other ones, put it right up to the edge and then just slide it down to make sure it stays. Locks it in place. Okay. And then you want to grab, you have two 15 millimeter poles or rods. You got your 15 millimeter poles. You want to put the sleeve on at the end, or gasket, whatever you want to call it. You get two of those, which I already put them on. Make sure they're flush, and then put them up into the holes. They're a little tight, which is nice. And then I'm going to put it down on the ground just so they don't pop out or anything. And then you want to grab your two plastic pieces, your brown plastic pieces, P2, P3. And then you want to put the one circle right here. And then this one you want to face like this. And then I said I wasn't going to pick it up, and I picked it up. Okay. So I'm going to pick it up because it's easier to do it this way. Okay, so then you're going to put this one on, if I can get a hold of it here. Yeah, like that. And then you want to put it where this end is on the other side of the spring. Kind of move that out. So you want this edge contacting the spring, because that's what's going to kind of go back and forth with it. So, but at least have it kind of like that. And then you're going to grab your other F10, kind of the back side, it doesn't have the number. No, you are going to need to decide with the number to make sure it all fits, and then just line up the poles or the rods and the middle part, and then just get it to slide on down, kind of lock not really lock everything in, but at least get it on there anyway. And then when you're done, which now I am going to throw it down, and you're done, now we're going to throw our other sleeves on. I am picking it up again. Okay. I don't. Okay. So as long as they're on there, they ain't going to come off. It should be okay. Okay, and then once those are on, then you got your D25 and D26. And D25's got the number on it, and doesn't have a little notch on the end of it. D26 does, and doesn't have the number on it. So you want to make sure the one with the little notch on the end, that one goes over here. On this piece, and the D25 goes in the middle. Just slides right in. Okay. All right. Okay. So, okay, so I put, got our other little plastic chuck piece, and the P13 piece that it calls for, the 24 millimeter, there's two different sizes, there's two different pieces that are the same size, but one's a little thicker than the other. And you'll know which one not to use because the pole will not go into the hole of this piece. I was trying for like 5 or 10 minutes to try to get that pole in here, and it would not go whatsoever, even me trying to force it, which I'm glad I didn't go to more extreme measures to try to force that in. And then I kind of happened to look over and I saw this thinner one, and I was like, well, let me try it. And sure enough, this thinner one went in a lot easier. So make sure when you grab this longer piece, the longer pole, make sure you use the thinner one for this chuck piece and not the thicker one, because it will be disastrous if you do. So, but I went ahead and put the pole in, just used the top piece of our template and just pushed it down to where it made it even on both sides. And then this will go, okay, and then you want to make sure, okay, so with everything facing down on this, the two poles here and here, from what it looks like, these two poles will go into these two spots right here. And it looks like these two edges right here are going to go into these two spots right here. So kind of makes it kind of nice. Should just pop right in there. Okay. So yeah, that is, oh, there we go. Okay, so you want to make sure that's nice and flush. Make sure these are all the way down. And then this, you want to make sure that the little tabs on each end of the wing or the arm is you want to make sure that they're facing out, because when it comes up, you want to make sure it's on the ends, facing up. So just make sure these are facing out when you put this in, and then this will go into the hole right here. Oh, there we go. So it should look like that, where you got the edge of the arm facing out. So to kind of go this way. Okay. So now with that, yeah, so you want to make sure that's kind of like right there. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to get our two pieces that we put in on the other side. And then again, make sure to wax the edge right here and wax the edge right here for this, so it has something to go against. And then make sure I get this correctly. Okay, so make sure you have it with the number on the outside, and then just find your two tabs and then push these down, and then just make sure that you also have your two edges here that are going to go into these right here, and then your two sleeves that are going to go into these holes, and then you also got this hole, kitty here, this right here that's also going to go into this hole. So you got a lot of different moving pieces here that you just need to make sure, at least once you get these tabs in, then come back in to here as you're pushing this down, which I just unpushed it out, okay? And then kind of work with it. Looks like it's off just a little bit. Something's not. Something is not. Oh, there's a tab right here too. Man, this is being a pain in the butt. There we go. Okay, there we go. So, whew. Is that in all the way? Yep, okay. So yeah, so you got those two, those three. I didn't see that tab. So those three, and then you also have this as well. So everything's loose, and then you got these two right here, and also that too. So a lot of moving pieces. No, that's it. Okay. So grabbing our other piece here, making sure I'm holding it the right way, which is that. And then just, this is the easy part. It's just two tabs. Just push that down and you are good. I put these pieces in a certain order so I didn't screw it up, because even though they may look the same, these are different thicknesses than this one here in the middle. So you got to make sure that these are in the same order. These are your F7s, these are your D28s, and this is your F17, which is thicker. It's thicker than what these are. So we are going to start with the F7 and get your P12. And this was the thicker pole that I tried to put into the chuck. So you're using it right after, and you're just putting this in. For now. And then just make sure, just flushing it for now, but you're going to be pushing it down, I think, further. And then what you're going to do is, with the tab, or the straight edge facing you, is just put this one down. It's not too tight. And then your F17, Slide that one down. All these the same. Make sure the straight edges are facing you with the tabs. And then D28. Slide that one down. And then your F7 again. Did I screw that up? No. Okay. And make sure that the holes are facing on the bottom. Make sure the holes face on the bottom on both pieces. Yeah, this is going to be... Okay, and now, so it should look something like that with all the grooves, and then now, they want you to get your P11, your 15 millimeter pole, and then this is going to go into the holes of these to hold this together, I'm guessing. So I would just line up all the holes as best you can. And then just find something to push down this pole to go all the way through to make it flush. Like so. Okay. And it's just probably just to keep these from moving around or whatever. And then with this longer pole, you want to... Okay, so once you get the pole in, which it looks like I may have broke that one a little bit. You need to wax the ends right here, and then it wants you to grab your little tool and then use the back piece where it doesn't go all the way through, and then place it in there and then push this down to make it even on both sides, which doesn't really look even, but as long as it's something, I guess. We'll see how it goes. Okay, and then this is going to be the tricky part, because it's going to go into here. Okay, I'm sorry. So one is you need to get your I-16. First thing you're going to do is this is going to hold your trigger. So you put it on the trigger. They want you to put this on the trigger. And have it here to hold the trigger back, because you're going to be putting this in, and this is going to go... Okay, so that spring is sitting there, so I'm guessing since you have that black spring sitting there, you push this on the spring to where the pole goes through the hole that's right there. I'm not for sure. I'm guessing when I release the trigger, this right here is going to push that forward to hold that in place. So, because it says once you do step 2 to go ahead and remove this, so I'm not going to have it release too fast on it, but okay, yeah, so that pushes up against it, and that's held in place right now. And then I'm guessing once we put the other pieces on over here, it'll hold this in place. So this won't go anywhere, but then not really for sure what the function is of it, you know, once you pull the trigger to release that and everything. So put this in, and then we are going to make sure the wheel is down. So if this is facing up, push it down to make sure the wheel is down. Still a little tight, but... And then what we're going to do is it's going to go into here. It's going to go into here. Okay, and just stay for now. And then you're going to grab your D32. Make sure. And then D29 with the arrow facing away from you, and that is going to go right into here. And then the way you're supposed to put it in is they want this piece, this end, to go in here. And I think it's going to go into these little grooves that are right there. And it's going to go try to fit tightly in between these two pieces with the holes. And then as you slide it in, then these other tabs are going to go into the hole here, and here. And then this is going to go in down here. This is going to go in to the tab down here as well, so it'll kind of look like that. Ah, okay, so it did. Just may have to force it apart just a little bit, and then get it to fit into the grooves right there. And then get all the other holes. You also got this here that goes, yep. So you got two holes here, down and down. So that down into there, and then this down into here. Is that gonna go? Yep, okay. And then that in, and then that in, and then that in. Okay. Whew. Because I was kind of making it harder than what it's supposed to be. We got our next pieces out, and I would say this is probably one of the most important steps to ensure you get right and to pay attention to the instructions. And because if you don't get this put in right or anything, then something probably will not work. And I don't know if there's a yeah, okay, so we'll actually be testing it here in a little bit to see if it works, which is nice. We didn't do that on the Tommy gun, but okay, so where am I at? Okay, so we're putting this together. So as it's long ways, you want to make sure that's pointing that way, and then when you get your E1s, you want to make sure that hole is facing away from you as you're putting these on, and you got to be careful to ensure, because these are delicate, thin wooden pieces, so they're not going on too tight or anything. So you got to put two of these on. Just make sure they're facing the same way. Make sure that going on the hole good. Okay. So with that long ways, you got this sticking out, and then your grooves both should be on the same side over here. And then just repeat the same process on the top. That down, and then your grooves are facing. Yep, grooves are facing this way. Okay, so that's the way it should look. Should have it, your two pointy edges facing the same direction, and then all four grooves should be facing, or on the same side, facing away. Okay, now, okay, so I'm gonna hold this up here. Okay, so what they want you to do is, since this right here will go up into here, because that goes up, this should push all the way back here, like that. That locks in, which is kind of cool. Okay, and so now, once you do that, then you grab your piece. You grab this section of it. Make sure that the pointy ends are facing straight down, and that your holes for each are facing toward this side. And then I'm guessing that those holes are going to go into this little notch, or this little piece that's kind of separate, going into the circle. That's where it's going to go into. Kind of like that, until you go all the way down to where this is sticking out. And then just to show on the other side, that'll be sticking out, and you see how the groove is kind of into it. You know, where it's locked kind of in. So for now, just make sure it stays like that, and that it does not move. I'm going to use this to kind of lean it on. I don't want to lay this on to the other edge over there. Got your A3, A4 kind of going like that. Go down into here, and then this will go into here. Okay, and then looks like this goes onto the top right here in these two grooves and into the hole right here. Yeah, that's kind of loose. Probably until I get the other side piece on, but okay. So that's that. Got that on, yeah. The other side piece gets on there. Okay. And then we've got A8 was the bottom one, okay. So A8. You should have a side with numbers on it. The side it doesn't, so you want to make sure you get sides with numbers kind of facing you. It goes into here, and then A7 right on top of it. Okay, and then you have your A5, and it'll go right here. Okay. And then, where does this go? So it looks like they want you to turn this around, and this will go into right here. Push it as far down as you can. And then there's another little hole right here that'll fit into. It's your it's your sight and everything. So you have that on there. Okay. So have that locked in. Okay. Now the fun part. This is not going to be fun, not so ever. Okay, so your spring, get your big spring. That'll go into here. Nothing really holding it. And then you're going to get this right here. Okay, so one, try to point out all the places that you got to look for. So here's that little separated piece that'll go into the opening right there. You also have this little pin right here that's going to go right here. Then you get your knot, your tab, that's going to go, this tab will go right there. This right here is going to go in the opening here. The other another tab will go into this spot here, tab will go into there. And then you got another little pin right here that'll go into this hole right here. Okay. And you just have to and you get the two tabs at the top. Okay, so I got the pin in down there. Got that in. Get that in. Try not to push on anything, but I can see the pin kind of like right there, so I'm not too worried about it. Trying to see what's held up over here. Okay, got those in. Okay. Dang it, I just got those in. Okay, hold it together, hold it together. Okay, so that's in, that's in. Why are, oh, that's why. Don't forget the front part. That's what I was forgetting. There we go. Okay, I think there's something else. Did that actually go in? Holy crap. Okay. Not as hard as what I thought, but no, but I mean, everything's in there, so. Okay. So, all right, so I got that on. Go down and hopefully it'll push forward and then it'll pop right into the hole right there. And now, let me show you this. So your P16 and 18, it's a little metal screw and connector. So these were together. 16 and 18 is already together. It was all the way down to where it looks like it was, you had two oval ends, but you had to unscrew one of it to get your other piece out. So you should have a screw piece and then the other piece for it to screw into. And then this is going to go right here. It should go all the way through. Not all the way through, but it should be flush right there. And then just try to get it started. And then they give you a screwdriver, little mini screwdriver. There we go. You just have to work it back and forth until you can screw it in without having any issues. And it doesn't have to be too tight, just hand tight. Don't want to get it too tight, but then they give you this little tool right here that you can put over top of it. If you have it laying down on something, that way you can screw it in a little bit better or whatever, but I didn't use it. So, okay, so I'm going to leave that. It's in there nice and tight. I'm not too worried about it. So there's that. You got this piece in here. You got your cover on here. You got the slide all the way back. Everything. So you got your sights. So not looking too bad. It looks like we're just gonna be putting a couple pieces on, and then we're gonna be test firing this baby. Okay. So first, yeah, I'm just moving it this way because this is the way it shows to put things on. So we're putting our A38 down the hole here. Why is... Oh, there we go. Make sure those are in place. Okay. And then we got our A25, which... Did it just fit on there? Oh. Right there. This kind of just slides on. I'm just trying to do it without breaking anything. There we go. I think this piece holds this back part together so you don't have to squeeze it and everything. So, but, okay. And then, all right, what else we got? What else we got? Straight up and down. This piece goes into here. Just trying to line it up. Okay. I think that's just to lock these two pieces in so they don't go anywhere. And then the final piece is this right here that goes under here and locks in to that to hold these in together as well. Okay. Okay, so now the fun part. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you want to make sure that you turn the chuck backwards and make sure you hear that click and that it can't go forward. That was one thing. And then you also want to make sure that the notch, that the groove is right on top of this little piece right here, that it's in there. And this is the fixed fire mode. So you want to make sure that that notch is on this little part right here. If it's not, then try to turn it to that part if you can. And then make sure you got your spring in, which, I mean, you went through the steps, so hopefully you got the spring in. And then turn that, make sure the chuck. Okay, so those three things. Make sure this is in, make sure you got your spring in, turn the chuck back to make sure that you hear that click and that it can't go forward. And now, so this is your bolt, this is your buffer hook. That's what it's saying, buffer hook, yep, okay. So since we don't have the front part of the weapon, or the AK-47 assembled, they want you to test fire it, to get a rubber band and fold it in half. Because since we don't have the front end of the AK-47, we can't just, put it to the end of that. So we're going to use this front part right here to fire the weapon. Actually, now we're going to use this right here from what it shows. We're going to use this. And then the first one, we're going to pull it back. Hope it doesn't break nothing. The first one we're going to put on the chuck all the way to the back. Okay. Using this front part here. And then you're going to get a second rubber band. Fold it in half, like so. Do the same thing. Folded rubber band, if it'll stay on. Folded rubber band. But this time we're going to go to the buffer hook. So that's how you should have it look. You got the first rubber band going all the way back to the chuck, and then the second one going to the buffer hook right here. And that's how I got it hooked, is right there. And for what they say is once you do that, okay. Okay, so all it says is And I would say beforehand, just make sure you see your pins for that little L-shaped piece that you put in. Make sure you see the pins on both sides there and right there, that it's in there. You get your spring in. And then again, just make sure that this notch is right onto that part right there. And then, so you pull the trigger. This first one should fire, and then it'll release the second one to go to the first one. And then you'll pull the trigger again and then fire the second one. So we'll see. Yep. It just didn't go too far because of the way it's hooked. And then, yep. So I would say that was a complete success. So I'll show that again. So again, make sure you fold the rubber band, have it come all the way back to the chuck. Oh man, I feel like I'm gonna break something. Okay. Then fold the second rubber band. Same thing, but just come back to the buffer hook. Okay. And then once check and make sure the pins, the notches are in, you know you got your spring in. Notches are in, that's tight, and just pull the trigger. There we go. So definitely put everything together the way it should be and everything. So, but that's what you're looking for, and that's how you want it to go, just on, you know, individual rapid or fixed fire. And I have a feeling when you turn this notch, it's going to be on auto, and you just pull the trigger and just hold it, and it'll just rapid fire, you know, the rubber bands and everything. So, but there you go. And so, as you may see, some of the parts look a little different. So I went ahead and stained a few pieces just to get them done. And I didn't show it because I know there's some other stuff I'm going to be staining later on. So I'll definitely show that, but it's more of just getting some stain and just a brush and just painting it on and everything. So, but this is what I did for this. I didn't really paint some of the insides too much or anything, just because I really couldn't get into it. But just try to paint what I could. And I had to actually take apart the one outside piece right here to get into some of this right here and everything. So just to be able to get to that and everything. So, but decided to do the blue here, and then just a little brown here, which I may have to go back and touch up that one. And then decided to do the black kind of down here, which will continue to the magazine and everything like that. So, but let me turn this over. But I tested it again just to make sure that it would still fire and everything, and it still fires just great. 12, which I didn't stain because you ain't gonna see them or anything. So, but you just put them. I don't know if it shouldn't matter really. Just kind of put them in. They kind of go at an angle a little bit, but they're both the same, going both ways. So you got high 13. So that'll go down. And for these, I just kind of stained the ends and the backs a little, which I may have to go back and redo as well. So we'll see. It's kind of hard to tell what was going where. I-10. Okay. Get that on. Now you got H5. So here, this is supposed to kind of slide in here and then pop into that. And then H5 is supposed to go down like so. It's the same size. Yep, so pretty much just go down to where the flat end is level. And then, you know, where it's kind of flat, flush right there. And you look over here, it's kind of flush there. But then this just kind of pops in a little groove right here, and then there's a little hole right there that you just pop that in, and then just slide that right in there. And I think I can already see I'm going to need to touch up some other stuff as well. Okay, so H5. Okay, so now I-14. So now we're just going to work on this part, and so now this is going to cover the upper part here along with the bottom. Just slide it on down. Do H14, which is this right here. That'll just fit on like so. And then your I6 will go right in the middle. Just trying to get it all to fit nice and tight. Better just to do it this way and then just flip it around and just follow the same steps. Uh, 12, 13, 5. Okay. Okay. Line with the little lip on it is going to be facing the inside, or kind of facing the top of the gun here. Kind of facing like so. Then 10, which I do believe I may have gotten these backwards on how to what I needed to stain. So you want the flight end to go kind of here. It'll go right there. Then 2 11s will go right here. An 11 right here. Okay. Then you're gonna get your A15. And you're gonna get your A12 piece right here, and that's gonna go in. Let's see here. Like so. Just gotta be careful not to break this little piece here. And then this will go right into there. That'll go right here. That'll go into there, and then these will pop in to right like that. Okay. just kind of slides down like so, and then I need so P15 is actually a screw that's in bag 2-2 3K07S, and that was the only thing that's in the bag is this little screw, so that's P15. If you look in the instructions, it says it's a screw and everything, so so just know that that's what it is. It's hard to find it if you, because the picture doesn't make it look like a screw or anything. Okay, so now we're gonna do this in E18. Oh. Okay. Okay, and then this, set that up. Go right on top. So if you see the little notch right here, that's where this is going to go. I'm going to have to, it's going to go over it like just like that, which I'm going to have to touch it up. So once you put this in, it should go right over top. So it should slide right into it. Once that pushes all the way down, and then you have your other little A29 piece that goes in the back. That goes over the other. Try not to break it. Or maybe it does not go over the back. It just, yep. It just holds it in place. Okay. Alright. Okay. So then, what we do is, this is on the bottom, down here. This is on the top. And you see there's two holes. You see there's two holes right there. That's where these two tabs will go into. To lock it in. And then just line up the holes here. And then use the screw, go all the way down, and then just use your screwdriver to turn it in. Okay, so now this will go here, and that should push that down, and it fits right on top of it. So just make sure this is down level, and then it'll go right in. And that fits right over top. Okay, need your B11 and A18. Just gonna go like that. And this is gonna fit on top of the piece right here. Just make sure it's facing down. There we go. And just make sure it's facing down. A35 goes right next to it, which don't know if it'd be better to put the A35 in first before the other one. So once you grab your A14 and D27, which I kind of colored, and they want you to put it up in here, slide all the way through, like so. Get here, and then if you want, you can just go ahead and just place the other circle on the other end of it, because it's going to go there anyway. Okay. Okay, so right here, you want the arrows pointing away from you, from what it looks like. So, because they'll go, one will go here and the other one will go on the other side in the same spot. So this one, up, and then over here. Yeah, okay. Up, and then, so pretty much the arrow's facing toward the top here. That's what it looks like. Okay, and then we have A28, which is gonna go right here. Yeah. Well, A28 like that. And then just push that on down. Okay. Little decorative piece. Yep. Okay. Gonna have this, and then you're gonna have this on top, and then you get your A24s, and then these are gonna go right into the grooves. And if you get one in, the other one should go in pretty easy as long as you got it straight. Okay. And if you're putting it together while it's stained, you might want to wear gloves because it's definitely rubbing off on my fingers. Okay, so now you're going to grab these two pieces, E8 and E7. E8 is the bigger one, I do believe. And you're just going to make sure the angles are in the back, like so. Like that. And then with your E5 piece, then your hooks are going to go into the bigger boxes, and then these right here are going to go into these right here. Okay. So those are in there. Okay. small little screws. They're in their own bag, P14, so not too hard to find. And then, is that one off? No? Okay. And then they want you to just screw these in. I guess just to secure them so they don't go anywhere. Because it goes up into the other piece as well. They don't fall out. Okay, just hand tight, nothing too crazy. That's it, not too tight. Okay. So that's on there. Okay. Now, the same way we did the other side. Gonna put the little trim pieces on up here, so. Same thing here, the little tabby goes on top. And then put this one on. Okay, and then your 11s right here. I was thinking of making them black, but I just decided to keep them blue to match, since I've already got some other black accent pieces and everything. So, okay. So once that is on, then you put this on and try to find the tab of where it's, there we go, latches on. Same, got our 835 right here. Just make sure you push it all the way down, and you got your long piece here with long piece here with your A12 or A13. And then this. Oh, that's even going to cover that. I shouldn't even. And just get them to fit. Got your piece here. That go down all the way, and then just like before, have your B11 and your A18. That'll go right here, and then just like before, just make sure it's facing down. And right up against the tab there, your A35. Okay. So, not too bad. Like I said, I just need to do some touch-ups and everything. So, but got all the little accessories on, little side pieces, the handle, which I'll have to do some touch-up there, and everything. And the same over here. Got your selector on, some other little accessories and everything. So, but yeah, not looking too bad though. So, next piece is out. Looks like it's going to be the stock. So, got those are stained up and everything. And then most of these have little trim pieces or little edging markings along some of them. And then what I did with that is I used my espresso, or my black stain, and then I just got a cloth and just dabbed the black around it, and then got a clean cloth and just wiped it off just so the black would stay in the grooves, and then but just took it off of the main piece just to make it look a little darker and everything. So just so those would stand out a little bit more, because you can't if you don't do that, you can't really see them as well and everything. So I did that for all the pieces that we have, to make sure you have this shape and everything. And then you want to get your H2s, and then you're going to put these in all the way through. This is what's going to hold the pieces together, and what you're going to connect all the other pieces together. So you just got to be careful. It's just weird the way they have you lock it in, the way it's like upper bottom instead of side to side. But just push it down as far as it'll go while holding it. And then this one's side to side, so not as bad getting it on. Okay, just make sure it's all good to go. And it looks like it's the back side of the piece. Or your trim is on this side. What's that one? Okay. So now we want I3, which is right here. So I'm going to fit this down into here. And then fit this one down. Okay, making sure this part is to the left. And I went ahead and stained both sides because I just had a feeling it was going to come down to where one side wasn't going to be shown as well as the other. So I1, I8. Okay, and then these, you're going to want the trim side to show. Might be better to hook them in first before putting them on separately. Just slowly work your way down. There we go. So they're not actually too hard to put on, but with the stain and everything, you just got to be careful. So H9. And I wasn't worried about staining the inside because you're not going to see it. So pretty much you're going to want the edging along the entire line, everything on both sides. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here, 9 and 11, and then you got H4. H4, you want the underside. That'll go here. Yep. Have that go all the way down. Okay. Then we're going to get these H15, H6, H7, which is right here. I didn't stain them because you're not going to see them. So 6 right here, and 7. Actually, it might actually be better to put this down here first, because trying to get all these on, there we go. Okay, it's because of it's at an angle, that's why. Is that right? Yeah, okay. And then put this in, and then slide this in. The little holes that's right here. Slide it into this bottom part down here. So should have 3 pegs that, and just slide it all the way down. That's in. Okay. So it should look like that. Then you're gonna get your H1. Let's see. And then put this. This is going to be a little harder because besides here, you got to make sure it lines up along with this. Oh, wait a minute, wait. Hang on. Of course, it also helps if you actually have it on the right side. Make sure you got the trim side facing, decorative side. That's how I knew, because these weren't lining up right. Okay. Okay, so H3. No, so H10, go down here on the bottom. Okay, and then H3 will go here on the top. Okay, not looking too bad. Kitty hair stuff. Okay, and then I think the final piece, I7 is going to go on top here. And should go right inside the opening. Should go right inside. There we go. It's just that my piece here is actually a little warped, so it's not straight and everything, but I'm okay with that. And then this one there actually is going the other way. It's warped the other way, so. But you just want to make sure that it's actually inside the grooves of the wood. Okay. So there's your stock, and you should have the pattern. It should flow perfectly. You know, all the patterns should match and everything. So decided to come out to my garage. That's a mess, and kind of show you how I stain the pieces and everything. So, and then also show you, which I did in my other video with the Tommy gun, the stains I use, which are the exact same ones. I use the gun stock for the handle and the stock and pretty much any type of wood grain or anything. The gray is a phantom gray that I found, which I kind of liked for the like metal. And you can always find paint to substitute for the metal, but I like the gray. I mean, I like stain. It actually, you know, makes it pop a little better. And then for my black, I use espresso. That makes it come out pretty good. But sometimes I may, to get it really dark, I do 2 coats on it. It just depends on how dark you really want it to be, and what I had showed in the last video on the main part of the AK-47. That black was just 1 coat. So all of these parts here are the barrel and everything. So I'll probably do 2 coats on this just to make it stand out a little bit more. And I sorted them out to determine like which ones I wanted black and then which ones I wanted the phantom gray and everything, and just for details, little aesthetic, you know, just so everything isn't completely black. I just separated these to paint those the gray color, and then everything over here is black of what we're going to be doing. So so I've already stirred this, and from what I've found, you should always stir your stain like every day, just to ensure it's mixed really well and all the colors spread throughout and everything, because you just never know. Even setting for a day and everything, some of it could, stay at the bottom. And I'm sure if any of you have done staining and you know what you're doing, please just do what you do. And I'm just kind of throwing some stuff out there for anyone who may not have stained before or anything like that. So, and I use the small little brushes like this, the foam brushes. They hold the stain really well. And what I do is I just lightly dip them in to get enough on to stain it. And then when I'm done, I'll dab on a rag to get as much out of it, because then I can use it for the next time I need to stain, just so I'm not using wasting brushes. And then I have some of these finer tip ones to get into the details or some places that the bigger brushes can't get into. So I've used these. They seem to work pretty well. But again, I just kind of lightly dab it into the stain, and they work really well and everything. And this one I just cut into 2 small pieces because I didn't have another small one. So this has worked out really well as well. So, okay. So what I normally do first is I will stain the sides first, just so I don't have to worry about holding it while I'm doing the main part of it and everything. And since I'm going to be doing both sides, I'm only going to be concerned with one side. I'll do one side and probably the ends, and then just set it down and let it dry before I even touch the other side or anything. And I found it's easier, especially on bigger pieces, to just hold in the main piece and just do a side and then work your way around. And I brought some small little tweezers to help with some of the smaller pieces to help with that. So I'll just lightly dab, and then what I'll do is I'll just work my way down, cover what I can. And sometimes some of the grooves you really don't need to do, just because something is going to be going in there. So like these right here, these small grooves, I'm not worried about doing because something's going to be going in there. So it's just as long as you get the top part done and some of the edges on the outside. And again, like I said here, there's probably something that's going to go into here, so I'm not too worried about it too much. And even with the stain on the pieces, it really doesn't hurt them too bad, going into connecting to any other pieces. You just have to be careful. I already did that. Okay. So these right here, you could probably go ahead and stain on the inside, because I don't think nothing is going to be covering this one. I think something's going to be covering this, so I don't think you have to worry about that. But this right here, you're going to have to worry about it. So I'm just going to just drag it through. And then the same for here. I'm just going to drag it through. And again, it's stained, so it's not going to, you know, I'm not worried about it oversaturating or whatever. And then if you want to go on the other side, just make sure it gets on the both sides here. And into both. Okay. So you can hold it with the pliers. You can hold it like this. You can hold it in one of the grooves, but you just got to be careful not to break anything, or just make sure you have a good handle on it. And then, and that's why I have a glove on this hand, just so I don't get any stain on my hands or anything. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Okay, got that down, so I'm just going to go ahead and, because it's not easy to stain both sides, but you just start at one end and work your way down, and it'll always go on darker than what it looks like. It'll dry a lot thinner, or lighter. So, and since I have this done, and I'm just gonna kind of hold this right here, and just finish staining there. Okay, so I think I'll just do the one side for now. I may work on the other ones later, but so that's all I do. So you can either do one side, you can do both sides. If you have something where the stain can dry from on both sides, just so you can get it done. You can use like some pliers. If you know the tabs are going to go in the hole, then I wouldn't worry about, you know, staining the tabs. Then I would just hold it by the tab and then just do the edge and everything. Just to make it a little easier, and always use like some cardboard or something that they sit on. That way when they're done, then I can just carry the whole thing down to my work area, and without having to take each little piece off and all that good stuff. So, but so yeah, so we'll see you when I'm done. The top part's facing the right way. Put this in, put that in. Grab your longer piece. Let's have that set down. And then your other one's going to go right on top of it. Like so. I'm just kind of... Okay. So it should now all three together like that. Looking like that.
Oh. Okay, de-summer stuff.
Doesn't really give you a good idea of where they're supposed to go, so I'm guessing they're going to go into the little grooves right here. Slide those in. Slide those in, and then once you get that done, then you get this and slide them into the holes that are right there. Okay, so I should get that in there like so. Like that. And then this facing here, this should go right on the edge. Should slide right in. Oops. So it goes all the way down. And it doesn't really give you a good description of how things are supposed to look or whatever, so you just gotta just make sure that they're, you know, in the right spot and everything. So, and then you have your two C-17s, which are right here. And then these are gonna go, looks like they go like right here. There's a little opening that these should just slide right down into. Okay, yeah. C2, yep. Slider pieces here, and they're gonna go, they're gonna slide in here and underneath to where they hook in right here, as you can see. Or maybe not, but see a little depression, so it'll go in right there. And then, yep, and then you just grab your other piece, C1, which I didn't do the backside because I knew they were going to be right on top of each other. And then just slide that in as well. And so you should have two just like that, and then, yeah. Okay, so now you have four screw holes. There's two on this side and then two on the other side. So you're going to use your P14s, and you're going to screw four of those in. There we go. Okay. Again, just hand tight, not too loose. It's just enough to hold these pieces in. Make sure they're not going anywhere. And then you'll feel a little bit of pressure when you're done. They're getting down too close, so that's how that should look. Right now, okay, so not looking too shabby. Have your two C8s and two C9s. And your C9s are the ones with the longer tabs on the bottom here. And your C8s are the ones, you know, with the smaller. So your C9s are going to go on top right here to this side of these C7s that you put on. And then these, the C9s will go on top and the C8s will go on the other side of it. So, because it has them together, so, let's see. So you gotta put them on, okay. Slide them in. Make sure they fit good. And then the tab should go into the bottom hole on this. Yep, just like that. Okay, and then you flip it over. And then you use your C8s, and these will go into the top holes. Usually the issue is just trying to line it up to get it to fit in. And then you just may have to squish them together to get it all to fit, because it might just be a little off. Okay. Okay, so those are there. So you get your E12 and F15 And the one has a little decorative, the F15. So I'm guessing that goes in the front because these are going to go kind of like right on top of each other. And then these are going to go right, from what it looks like, it's going to go right here. And they'll lock in with your earlier pieces. Like so. And then this, yeah, just make sure your decorative is facing forward. And then just push that in. And it's not really, it's just going to sit there. There's really nothing that'll lock it in or anything like that. So just want to make sure that they're sitting, you know, that they're matching these two right here in place. So there's really nothing holding them in just yet. And then you're going to get your E10, which is this. And it looks like they want you to push this in right here, push it down, and then push it in right there. Make sure it's all the way down. It actually slid in pretty easy. So you just slide it in at an angle and then just push it in on the inside right there. So I don't know if that's eventually going to hold it in or what, but we'll just keep that as it is for now. Your A49, E16, and A19. I've made those blue. So A49. Yeah. So let me, because I think it was going to make it look like a screw or something that was on the. And again, just trying to make sure it doesn't slide off. And then you get your decorative part facing out. It just should just slide on down there. And then I want you to put it in the circle here. And it should just slide right in. This facing here, so this is going to slide down into the hole. So put that on top, and then this will go right on top of it with the decorative facing out, and then just press it down as well. So it's going to stick out just a little, so it's not flush, but I just wanted to make it a little decorative, you know, on both sides. Have something other than black and everything, so there we go. So now that should just slide right on in. And you may have to move this one around because this should slide right up into it. So, and then with your A23, it's going to go in right here. And you're going to have to, hopefully if it's lined up, this should just slide straight on, just like that. And I think that's what's going to hold all these other pieces together and everything. So that's what it should look like. Your small piece right attached to the top one, and then your two back ones and everything. So, okay. The angles are facing that way, okay. Angles are facing that way. Okay. It's gonna be a tight fit, so you just gotta, okay, so that one should look like that. And then your A43 piece, exactly the same. It's just, and again, the angle's going that way. And this time, this is going to go up underneath it. And pretty much these two pieces are going to connect to each other. So, no, okay, that's right. So the smaller piece onto the front, and then the angle facing this way, and then so that one's facing that way. And then what you're going to do is let me look here. Okay, so you definitely want to make sure that the tabs go in to here first, and then they'll go down, and then the tab will go in tab should go in. Just may have to, there you go, force it in. And these should lock in, just like that, okay? But yeah, it just made it look decorative. So you just gotta make sure to put those tabs in first, and then they'll just lock right in. That was my, so if you try to push them in first, then it won't go in or anything, so. But, right here. Yeah, your A-45 is gonna go right here. There's like a little groove right here, so just get that in there and push it in. And then what you're gonna do is, should be 10, 11, 10, 11. And I'm just gonna kind of hold these back. And then it should be opposite of what these are. So the 10 was first, and you want the flat edge to go underneath right here. So you just push the tab in the hole. Just push it down all the way. And with the black, it's hard to see, but pretty sure it's down there all the way. Okay, and then you grab your 10 or 11, and then push that in the hole. And then 10. And then 11. Okay. So I'm always just trying to push them together to line them up a little better if you want. But you should have, you know, those right there and those right there. Okay, and then finally, you like your two little wings right here, and then these will go on your tab, your A25 that, or A45 that you put on. So you just put them on down here at the bottom. Okay, there we go. And then, you know, with the curved piece on the bottom, just slide that on. I mean, I guess I could have made that blue too, but that's all right. Yep, so like that, and then just another piece, the end piece, I made that one blue, and your E9, so that'll just go on the end. Like I said, I wanted to have some decorative pieces, not all black, so I made the tip, you know, blue and everything, so your barrel, everything, so that's what it should look like. These pieces are loose right now, but I think it'll eventually get tighter once you put some other stuff on and everything, but yeah, we'll see. So, and then you know, other side looks exactly the same and everything, so, but should be what it looks like now and everything. So, and again, the being stained, I mean, you may have to wear gloves just so you don't get stuff all over your fingers and everything, but definitely not looking too bad though. So I'm gonna do this real quick because all this is just securing the main body with the barrel and everything. So what you're gonna do, is you're going to slide these two ends into the two holes that are right here. You're going to slide these two in like this. Get all the kitty hair off of it, and they should contact up here at the top too. There's two tabs, and then like right here, it should go all the way in. Something is not. Oh, there we go. Okay. You may have to, I think it was this piece right here. You may have to move it side to side to get it to fit inside the little groove here. But that should be flush right here at the top. This should be flush. The black and the brown piece, those should be flush together. Okay. And then once you do that, then make sure they go all the way down. And then turn it over, get your other smaller screw pieces. And again, this was all together, 16 and 17. So you just have to unscrew the one end to get the small screw out of it. But you want to turn it to ensure that it's going in smoothly. If it feels a little tight, keep turning it the opposite way. Turn it the opposite way until it starts going in super easy, because there should be no restriction or anything on it. And I'm not going to go all the way down until I get the second one in. And then just same, I'm just trying to turn it to where I can feel that it's not going to be any resistance. If the other piece starts spinning, then you know it's not going in right. There we go. And that's how I knew is my finger's on the other half of the screw. And if it starts spinning as you're getting ready to start to turn this, then that means that the screw isn't on there good enough. And again, just hand tight. You can work with it with each one just to make sure. Just to make sure that those are in there good. And again, don't have to be like super tight or anything like that, but so can't get the whole thing in the picture, but so there's the way it's going to look. Can't show the whole thing in one frame, but I'll get to that later. But right now we're going to be working on this little area right here, kind of putting some supports for the one hold that's going to go wrap around and everything. So, and I got all the pieces laid out right here. I kind of kept them in order. Luckily these have the numbers on it, so you know exactly which ones will go where and everything, but I still kept them in order when I stained them just in case and everything. So we'll start with this one, and they should go in pretty easy, I'm hoping. It's just lining them up and just making sure that they're just level on both sides. Okay, and then G11. I don't think it really matters which way it goes. They should just slide right on once I get all the kitty hair off. But these should just slide right on. Yeah, just like that. And then like that. And then yeah, these next ones should go kind of the same. Oops. Yeah, these are just sliding on like super easy, so. Oops, there we go. And last one. Okay, so actually they all went on pretty easy. This first one is probably about the hardest one, but not too bad. Okay, so now, is it both sides? Yep. Okay, so now you're going to get your G20 right here and that right there, and then you're going to throw this down into the holes, kind of fit it in between it all, and then just line the holes up. just push it down, and this will hold them in place, the curves and everything. And then once you get that one in, then grab your G5. And then this one goes, okay, so it's kind of the same like we did with these. There's a little hole right here that, kitty hair, that you'll have to insert it in first. Insert it in the hole first and then push it down into the holes to lock it in. Okay, so it should look just like that. And then just turn it over and repeat the process. The bigger one is going okay. So bigger one's going right here. Let it slide down. Just making sure this is lining up with the hole. So just push that down. You may have to use 2 fingers to line it up if you can't get it to go straight, because you may have some issues. And then your G3 goes, it will go right here in the middle. And again, this is all just support for the wraparound. Because as you remember from previous models, this is an accordion. I did stain just one side because you're not going to see the other side. But if you remember from before, I had issues when I tried to bend anything, you know, an accordion piece that was stained, and it actually had to, you know, it broke on me. But I only put one coat on and didn't do it. But there's actually spare pieces for both of these pieces, so if one breaks, then I know that I'll have a spare that I can go back to if need be, because I was thinking of just putting this on first and then staining it, but I thought it might actually be a little too hard to try to get. So, but eventually it's going to be kind of, you know, something like this of how it's going to go together. So let's see here. Okay, so let me do it this, because this is the way they want you to have it. So you get your 2 tabs right here, and then you're going to put these, your stain side or your decorative side, it's going to go on top. And if you need to, I would do one, try to lock it in onto the tab, and then move it over to lock it onto the other one. So nervous about these. Okay. I'm going to have to come back and restain, touch that up so make it brown or something. Okay. I wasn't for sure what that was going to be when I put those on there and everything, so it's all good. Alright, so and then with this piece facing like this, then these 3 are going to go right here. Kitty here. So you get your little tabs right here. They're going to go in there as well. So you have to just make sure those are going in. So okay, I think I got that one in. This one I don't think. Okay. So nervous with these. And that should latch right on the back side over here too. So, okay, just push them down. Try not to bend anything. Just try to work your hands around. And then the tab should be up in over here. Oh, goodness. Okay. So, with these in play, now, what we're going to do is just work one at a time. So, working with your top one, go ahead and carefully bend it over, and you're going to have to pull on it to latch it on, and then push it down carefully. And then try not to push it too much, but you know, that's the way it's going to be. Okay, so you got the top one on. It's stretching a little bit, but not too bad. Okay, now the bottom one. Just do the same. Try to pull on it a little bit. Stretch it. Okay. Put it right on it. And just work it down. That's caught right here. There we go. Like I said, if you don't put too much stain on it, it won't stretch it too much to cause it to break, but you just have to be careful with it. But again, it's one of those, you know, maybe better to stain it once you have it on. That way you know it'll be on, and then just have to watch where you stain it and everything. So we're going to be putting these pieces on, and actually use some of the black stain and put over top of it and wiped it off like I did the stock and everything, just so it would be a little darker. Okay, so there's that one. It kind of doesn't match it up with the emblem too much, so, but we'll see how this other one matches. That's the decorative side, so I don't know how else to... Yeah, this is the same way too. They don't match up too well. So, it's alright. Not worried about it. So, the back kind of matches, but the front doesn't really too much. Here out. It should just slap right into there. Okay. And with that one, I did blue on the inside and then brown on the outside and everything, so... Okay, and then after that, then we'll do one more thing before we work on the magazine, and that's putting our stock on. So just like we did with the other one, you got a couple holes. You got a couple holes right here, here and here. A couple holes right here. So these are just going to go in to match, just like that. So now it's just holes aren't too aligned, but we'll see what happens. And then, yep. So then we're gonna. Okay, so you may have to work with both sides, because it's like with the blue and the stock and some holes on the inside, they just weren't lined, they were just a little off. So, but I kind of forced them through, and you may have to adjust this part to get it to fit and everything, so just kind of be careful with that. And then And just work with these. Here we go.
Yeah, this will be slow tech, but
Okay. Yeah, not too tight, but okay. So there we go. So again, I can't show it full frame right now, but there's all that in there. And there's a couple of little touch-up areas I'm going to have to do that I see. Not too bad though, but definitely kind of like it. Just doing our magazine, everything. So we're going to get our G6, our C6 here, which I did both sides. Then our B10, which I've painted blue. So that'll go into here. I get to fit. And then do that. Then do our C14. I'll go right here. And I did the tops and bottoms, not knowing what was going to be seen or not. You could probably just do the ends, and it would probably work real good. Then, as far as the ends here, just put this on. This will hold it in, guessing. Just have to be careful not to break it or. There we go. This will go in here. Uh-oh, somebody's coming. She woke up. There we go. Okay, I may have to do a little touch up on that one, but okay, so we got those in the way. In the way. Okay, so now I need to do C13. See? 13 with our 2 here. So again, I didn't do the underside because I knew that was going to be hitting here. So I just left it alone. Let's see how this ends up. This will go in here. Yep. So again, didn't see the underside of that, so there's no point in staining it. And then getting this side, pushing this one down. Okay. First get all the kitty hair out. So it should look like that. Okay, and then you're getting your 32, 31. Okay. 32. So this one. Oh, I'm sorry. C4, 32, it's going to go right here, and 31 is going to go show, and then looks like these are going to go right on top, like that. And then grab your other piece, and then this will go right on top of them. end pieces, I think they are. I'm not for sure. But pretty much what you're going to be doing is you're going to be locking them in. Just like that, just pushing them into these 8 holes. Yep. So just one at a time, just kind of make sure they're in there good. And just press them all the way. Okay. So they may be sticking out a little. Or you can, like I said, try to make them a little flush. I don't think it's really going to matter too much. And then before, yep, E36 to the middle. Then this would get put down in between, make sure these go in at the bottom, and then make sure this is going in here and this is going in here. Something don't look right. There we go. Push these down a little bit more. Okay. And then having your other one, just making sure all these line up. And then you just may have to pull it back a little to make sure that is it. Just push that down. Which you can kind of see inside where I didn't stain or whatever, which I'm okay with. And then with this piece here, it is that they're saying to do it one in the front, and then locked it in the front, and then push it down. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so get this clip in, and then push this down to get it to go underneath the little lip, and then the 2 tabs should lock right into the hole right on top. And there you go. Okay. So there's your magazine. Yeah. To put it on, looks like you see. There we go. It goes up in here, and then should click. Okay, so finally got it in. It's a little taxing. I don't know if it's the stain or what, but I think it's going to require some fitting. And I actually had to sand a little bit off to get it to kind of go up in here. There we go. Okay. I think it's just I think it was the, it could have been the stain and probably just the wood being rough. So what I did was I sanded a little bit off of this right here, and I put some wax on it to get it to flow a little easier. Okay, so what you do is you get your little tab right here. It goes underneath this piece right here. Goes underneath this piece right here, so you put that in, making sure that this is lined up, and then plus you have these two tabs right here that'll kind of hit as you're going in, and then it should go right up in there. And then to take it out, you got to push this forward, and then that'll come out. So you may have to do this a few times to be able to, you know, slide it in a lot easier, because it was definitely rough going and everything. But so now it's going in a lot easier and everything. So okay. Whew. All right. So there we go. All right, everyone. So we finally finished our ROKR AK-47 Assault Rifle, and I will say I actually enjoyed this one more than the Tommy gun. And I actually think this went together, for me, I think it went together a lot easier than the Tommy gun did. But as you can see, it definitely kind of looks a little bit better, even though I use the same colors and everything. So, but I'll just kind of go over some parts of the gun, and then we'll test fire it, because I just went through that, and let me tell you, it was so much fun. So, so back here you got your stock and everything. You got your designs for the wood and everything, and going through here, you got your two little side pieces here. Kind of wish they would have done this one the same length as this one, just so it would hang down a little further. But I don't know if that's the accuracy of the real AK-47 or not. But I just wish they would have made that one a little longer. Then of course you got your handle, you got your trigger, which I have it in safe mode right now, so it won't go all the way back. And then you got your magazine, which if you push that forward, that will come out. Of course, it has no bullets in it or anything, so there's your magazine and everything. And then to put it back in, just push it up in there. It locks right into place. And again, you may have to do that a couple times to get the wood to mesh really well, because that first time I tried to, it was really stiff, and I couldn't get it in there, so I had to sand a little and get some wax into a couple pieces. But then once I get that in there, then it actually is going in a lot smoother now and everything. So here you have your selector valve, or selector switch, to go from single to burst fire, which is fun. Just going down, you got your handle, kitty hair, got your handle holder right here, and down here you got your barrel and everything going down, and then more kitty hair. And of course, you can stain this however you want if you stain it, but I just added some blue, some touches there. And then the top, I didn't really stain on the inside or anything like that. I just kind of kept to the outside. But then you got your wheel here. You got your bolt that shoots everything. You got your sight, but this doesn't pop up or anything, and I'm guessing they do that just so the rubber bands don't get in the way or anything. So it's just a permanent fix that it just stays down and all that. And then just run it over to the other side here. So this side exactly the same. The only difference is you got your safety switch is right here. That goes from safety to fire, which is nice. That's why the trigger won't pull. And then you have a selector, your switch from single to burst. And then of course you get your bolt, and then everything else just looks the same on it and everything. So, and then what I did was I wanted some of the wording to to be a little bit more pronounced. So I got some of that black stain with a small little brush and just dabbed a little over the words, and then just grabbed a cloth and just wiped away the stain to try to make them stand out a little bit. So that's why if you see on the blue a little bit of darker stain, that's kind of what I did, which I don't mind doing that. You know, I'd rather those stand out a little bit more than not see it at all. And then that's what I did with these pieces right here. I just took them off, and I did that for the entire piece. Put that black stain on and then wiped it off just so you can see the letters a little easier. And of course, I did that as well, designed by ROKR with the serial number and everything on it. So, and I did that also for here. And then turn it around. I did that for this emblem as well, and then these two places and all that. So, but overall though, I mean, it actually looks really nice. I definitely love the stain compared to the regular picture and everything. Just regular picture. I mean, it's nice that they colored, you know, stained a couple of the guards and the stock and the handle, but this looks just so much better and everything. So, but and then underneath, you know, I stained what I could and everything just to get it to match and everything like that. So, but so now the fun part. Okay, so this you load. Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. Before we get to that, so it also gives you some little practice army men to shoot at. So I just grabbed some craft paint and I just painted them all green, just like our old green army men that we used to have. So you get 5 of them in different poses and everything. So you can use those as your targets and everything like that. And then it gives you a ton of rubber bands to go through and everything. So, but for this, for me showing you, I'm just going to use 5, but I think it says you can go up to 10 that you can load on this. And you will load this the exact same way as the Tommy gun. So first, if I can get them to unravel. Okay. So first, you will go up to the top here and go back, and you're going to go to the wheel right there. Okay, and then you're going to back it up 1 till you hear the click. Then you're going to keep doing this until you get to your very last one. Hit the wheel, turn it back. Because your very last one is going to go on your chuck right here. Or your bolt. Okay, so that's 4 with kitty hair. Okay, so now your final one is going to go on your bolt right there. Okay, so again, since this is on safe, it won't let me do nothing. So you have to put it in fire mode and then just pulling the trigger will fire 1 at a time. Now, as you heard, that 1, it fired 2. Sometimes you'll get that where it'll fire more than 1 at a time. And they said that that's common. Sometimes it's just the spring not really retracting the bolt the way it should. So, and they just say the more you use it, the more it'll just fire 1 at a time and everything. So now we are going to do this again. And just do the same thing. Put it on the wheel, turn it back. And again, like I said, it says you can go up to 10. So do that. And again, since it's rubber bands, it's got kitty hair for days. Okay, and then the last one you put on the wheel, you do not push it back. You just leave it as it is. And then your very last one, you put on your bolt. Okay, so now we're going to switch it to auto from single to burst. So you just grab your selector switch and just rotate it up to where it's fully straight, like so. And then all you do is you just pull the trigger, or you just pull it once. And there you go. I love that so much. And then if you want to go back down to just single fire, you just move your selector switch back down to there, and then you'll just be firing one at a time. And then of course, put it back on safe since you're out of ammo. So I definitely enjoy this, especially the rapid fire and everything. So definitely enjoyed this build, but I definitely I love this thing. So enjoy it immensely. And again, mechanics of it, you know, may seem a little difficult once you go through it, but you know, they do a good job with having you test it as soon as you put everything together, the main body. That way you can see if something's working and get back in there to fix whatever an issue might be happening, instead of putting it all together and then trying to get back in there and stuff. So, but yeah, so no, love this model. So they did a good job with this one. So, yeah, so definitely enjoyed this. So, but as always, please like, share, subscribe, leave comments, hit that notification bell, and you know, I'll definitely try to get some more videos out to you. So with that, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next episode.